This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL-TV in association with MTK Global. We're in Montreal, Canada.
Canada.
At the Wayne. We always end up on a bed villager.
Yeah, I think something's meant to happen between me and you, haven't we?
Don't be disgusting. I'm not saying.
I find you very attractive, and why are you making comments like that? Like, you don't like... Let's get on the subject, but...
Fun and games at the Wayne today.
Yeah.
Dominic losing his rag a little bit, or is that not really Dominic losing his rag?
Mind. He's good at his job, but he does. Makes himself heard.
So the whole thing at the Wayne was today that you
Not
couldn't
really.
see the...
Well, not really. Dom thought he saw it trickle over. He then made him get off. And he made him get on, 3 times in the end, wasn't it? 'Cause then he took it off, made the weight, then Dom made him get back on again. So he got back on the scales 3 times. Just rattle him a little bit, innit?
But you didn't have to take anything off? Why did you?
Make it equal and fair. I asked the crowd, they said take them off, took them off, make it equal and fair. Give a few people a little insight, you know.
Fair enough. What was you two saying to each other at the...
I can't remember what he was saying. I was just starting a few facts and that. I was just mentioning about he was in the sauna and shit and whatnot. I was just mind games, Google. Listen, all what I say don't mean shit to it at this stage. It's all does it. All gets in there and does their thing.
Do you know if LEMIEUX runs his own Twitter?
No, I don't know that.
Someone's at the door.
Answer him, Cook.
Camera on?
Yep.
Hello.
This is live.
Right, this is live, yeah.
This is live.
Bill?
IFL TV.
Your delivery of your
KUGAN CASSIUS.
Oh,
your gown.
Great man. Good man.
Yeah.
Good man.
Let's have a look.
WBO
Sneak
World
peek.
Champion.
Good man.
Looking
Yeah.
good.
I've got an exclusive as well for you.
Let's
KUGAN
have a look.
CASSIUS.
Killer.
Exclusive. I've got another exclusive for you as well. I've just sparred with Tyson Fury.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
It was most enjoyable. Me and Kid Galahad sparred with him. After about 1 minute 30 seconds, I was running on fumes, but I was at a stage where there was no retreat, no surrender.
Yeah.
I had to dig deep.
Yeah.
There was a crowd, and I couldn't stop. So I was going deeper and deeper and deeper, and we was having a war.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
More importantly, can you feel his presence now, what the fuss is, now what he's about?
Yeah, he knew all those tricks. I was doing that, slipping to the side, and he was already in a position to counter. It turned into a bit of a dogfight. Kid Galahad jumped in. He, for some reason, started attacking me while I was sparring with Tyson. And then it was a Royal Rumble. Tyson was attacking me. Kid Galahad was attacking me. Then I was attacking Tyson. And Kid Galahad was attacking Tyson. It was like a Royal Rumble
Good though.
type of situation.
Why wasn't anyone there to film this?
There were some guys there on mobile. There is some mobile phone footage there. There is some footage.
Would you like to have been there, Kogan?
Well, it's a bit late for me to say anything now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was in my room.
Why didn't no one inform the notorious I found KUGAN CASSIUS over there?
Where was you doing it?
Well, this is what happened, Kugan. I was in my room, just nice and relaxing. I thought, I'm really tired. I've just had something to eat. I'll just have 5 minutes, just chilling out. And then I received a phone call from Kid Galahad saying, "Come on, let's go down to spar with Tyson." And I thought, shite, I've just had something to eat. But I thought, forget about that. Let's get it on. I went down and I was just thinking, let me just
You
like...
did say last week you'd love to spar him.
Yeah. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, I said I'd love to spar with him. And,
Well,
yeah. But more importantly, are you happy with the...
Brilliant. Who done that?
Well, the guy that did this, he's a builder.
Yeah, he's good, mate.
He's a builder by trade. He's got sausage fingers.
Yeah.
However, when it comes to a thread and needle, He's very intricate and he's very gentle. And his name's Simon Bergen. He's the cutsman for the Ingle gym. He's done a fantastic job. Cut that.
No. He dropped it. It's not the end of the world. It's all right. Don't worry.
He's fantastic. Let's pretend that didn't happen. He's fantastic.
He's live. Don't worry.
With the needle and the thread, and he's done a fantastic job.
Well done. That's good.
Lovely.
Let's have a look to see how it feels.
Good.
He's just tacked it round.
No, that's good. It's good. I can see it's good.
Yeah. So I'm just going to hang these up.
Go on then, mate.
All right, we're going to carry on with this.
Okay, I apologise.
Cool. No, you're all right. No problem. No problem. Yeah, Bill, I was talking about Lemieux's Twitter because he says some pretty out there things to you on Twitter, but I haven't heard him say anything to you in person, so I just wondered if it was... Didn't he call you a dead man the other day?
No, he mentioned something about death killing me or so, but look, obviously what's happened in the past in England with people getting hurt, some people passing away. And then there was one at the Golden Boy show who passed away.
Recently, yeah.
I just don't think... Listen, do what you want. Call me any name you want. It never get under my skin. It didn't really get under my skin about the death thing. But the only thing I thought, really, is like... I put myself as... Imagine me saying that. You just can't do that. Because, you know, imagine if that young boy's mum or someone got sent that or something like that. As bad enough as what boxing is, she probably hates it now. That would probably... It's just bad, isn't it? You know what I mean? I've got a heart for stuff like that. But, like I say, we'll see who's going to do what tomorrow.
I can't remember who I was talking to. I was talking to Dominic and KUGAN about this today. Is Lemieux the biggest puncher you would have faced?
Yeah, I'd say, yeah. I'd say so. Him and Andy Lee. Andy Lee don't get a lot of recognition for his punch power.
But he can punch.
But Andy Lee can punch, yeah. Single-handed. There won't be a lot in the difference in both of them. I'll soon tell you tomorrow.
He keeps making a point, Dave Lemieux, that, you know, he's not just a puncher, he can box too. He said that a few times this week.
We see tomorrow, KUGAN. See, the problem is, when you get into a rhythm of just knocking people over, one after the other, and he's got a good record. But let's face it, as he knocked out, are they all really contenders who he's knocked out? Curtis Stevens, he is a contender, but he knocked out Curtis Stevens, and really, no disrespect to Curtis Stevens, but he's nothing special in my eyes.
Not what you would call an elite fighter. This is what you said on the conference call the other day.
Well, Andy Lee is a lot better fighter than him, Curtis Stevens. If them two boxed, I'd put everything I own on Andy Lee beating him. Too big, too strong, punch too hard. Simple. And the fourth round, I nearly knocked... I didn't, but I had Andy Lee over twice. Didn't finish him. But it's one of them things, isn't it? You know, we got similar... He stepped up against Golovkin and got beat. I'm yet to fight Golovkin. So, look, the beauty of this now is that no one's got to wait months and weeks and weeks. It's tomorrow. So, we'll see who's going to do what and who doesn't do what.
Do you think you've aggravated him? I was listening to the conference call you had at the start of the week. I don't think you quite got your little legs comment. But do you think you've kind of aggravated him? Because it's come out of nowhere, this is, isn't it? I'm not saying it's like just for cameras or whatever, but this kind of thing with you and Lemieux has come out of nowhere, really, isn't it? It's not been building up over the last couple of years or anything.
Look, I don't really... Obviously, I don't really hate no one. Really. There's a couple I hate.
In boxing?
Yeah. But, well, one I hate. But...
Who?
I don't need to go there. But look, listen, but with him, it's not hate. It's just you talk shit. You're talking rubbish. Back what you're saying up. Do it or don't. Same as me. Back what I'm saying up or don't. End of story. Simple. Tomorrow, it's here upon us. We'll be in that ring. We'll be there. And we'll see what happens.
Does it still concern you about if the fight goes the full 12 rounds? If it's a close fight, does that concern you?
Not really, no. Not really. I mean, we got the judges as fair as we could. 1 Canadian, 1 British, 1 Puerto Rican. So, it's better than 1 Canadian ref, 2 American judges and 1 Canadian judge, isn't it? What was there at first.
Happy with the ring?
20 foot, isn't it? 24 foot? 20 foot?
No, someone's got their measuring tape down there from your team, so I don't know what.
They were all measuring it today.
Right, okay.
They were all measuring it today. So we you know what I mean. We know what's going on and what's not going on. It's just one of them things that we're well prepared. All the angles have been covered. It's down to me now. The strings are being untied tomorrow. I'm getting let out of prison. Tomorrow basically. My release date is tomorrow. It's been a long camps for me, Coop. Been away 6 months now.
Away from home, away from your family, yeah.
Just away from, listen, yeah, away from, just being away from home, do you know what I'm saying? Oh, just being away from home was just a long time. Out of that 6 months, what I've had off? Out of the 6 months, probably had 2 weeks off. 2 weeks off. Just kept it rolling. I'll have Christmas off and probably get back in 2nd week of January. Back in training.
I want to talk about last week. Someone who you started your pro career with at the same time, James DeGALE. Back in when did you turn pro? After 2008?
2008 we had a debut.
Yeah. Lost his world title last week against an opponent that many people didn't see beating James DeGALE. That's probably fair to say beforehand.
KUGAN, let me tell you about James DeGALE, yeah? Sparred him, been around him all my boxing career, all my professional career, no, I'm a mate. He is the best super middleweight. There's no getting away from it. He is the best super middleweight. Alright, on that performance last, he was terrible. And he'd tell you himself, he wasn't a 5 out of 10 from what he is, top of his game, Badu Jack and all them, Lucien Butte. He was not half the man. But sometimes in boxing, it happens to everybody. The nerve button in your body and the nerve and the worrying side of it switches off. Now, when that switches off, and then you find, I'll pick him, I'm fighting him, and nobody, it's more switching off. You're thinking about, can't wait till this camp's over, I've got a nice Christmas coming, getting paid, like, yeah, your mind ain't on him. You're thinking, you got that opponent there, and you're thinking, right, who am I getting in the new year? I look at him, I can't wait till they fight, because I want the winner of them. You take your mind off it. We're all human. He took his mind off it. Fella come from nothing, living in America, and I don't know, in some flat or some brick shed. This is his chance. And I can relate to this because I've been in the same situation myself.
With Akavov.
But I got away with a bad win. He came there, he turned up. You know what I mean? In fights, you come straight up the first round, you think, "Oh, this is easy." Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, very easy. Bomb. But next thing you know, 4 or 5, stuff's changing. Like, it's getting a bit harder. Next thing you know, you think, got it. This is close. I got it. Next thing you know, you let it slip from your hands, and when you're in that mode in the ring, it's an hard task. It's an hard task, but you can't let that system switch off in your body ever. You'll keep that on, and you just cannot let that system switch off at all.
Did you hear Frank mention the possibility of you and DeGALE?
Look, Frank's mentioned a few fights, and he mentioned me and DeGALE to me. DeGale's my mate, but I'm sure that if it comes to good business for both of us, we're businessmen, aren't we? I suppose we could we could fight maybe one day. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But he mentioned it. But DeGale now, he want to put himself back on track. Did he rush the injury back? If I'd have been him, I'd have waited till after the New Year. Because you've got to take in consideration, alright, from the operation he had till the fight, might have been 5 months, 6 months. Felt good, yeah, but you have to start getting ready for a fight 10 weeks before that. So really, it's 3 months since the operation. If you get my drift. I don't know what the timescales that was, but it's using that. So you got to take all that in consideration. When you're world champion, I can't talk because I've done it, but you can't afford to switch off. But I've come to Canada this time last year, never. Motivation was wrong. Everything was wrong. I knew that deep down. I was winning fights. Even when I won the world title, was I motivated? No. Probably not.
Why?
Because it becomes a buzz, doesn't it? Like, growing up from nothing, like from where you start, and you want to get to that world title, and it's a dream. You dream about it, and then, you know what I mean? It just wasn't. I wasn't 100. Well, look, if I wasn't motivated, it wasn't 100%. But for the fight alone, I'm pleased it was Andy Lee, because that got me up more. And that sort of took over from what wasn't there. And then I just lost complete interest. I was thinking, world champion. Is this it? Like, and you get complacent. But then you realise, when you're enjoying it again, you realise what could have gone. When you start enjoying it again. You look back and you think, like I look back at photos of myself, and that's all I was too interested in down. You're driving up and down, and Bentley going up and down, new club, looking good. Oh yeah, look at me, hello. It's not really about that, is it? Really, to win fights, to go and to do what you got to do, you got to put the work in, put the graft in. Because in boxing, if I wasn't fit and wasn't ready, never come here, never go away, never. I'd rather retire, finished, rather be done. But I'd never do that again, because if ever I lost the motivation like that, it'd be over, 100%. And I wouldn't come back for money, no matter what people said, there's a fight here for 5 million, 4 million. I wouldn't do it. Simple. Because your pride's gone then, isn't it? You know what I mean?
In the space of a few months, you went from being with Jimmy Tibbs
Yep.
to being with Adam Booth
Yep.
to being with Dominic Ingle.
Yep.
So you believe that you are with the kind of right environment, team, trainer now for the final phase of your career, which you're kind of in now.
100%, yeah. 100%. Let's say, what am I now? I'm 28. Let's say I've got 6 fights. Six good fights, 6 training camps. I'm in a very, very good position. Very, very good mindset. Very, very good place with a good team. Not saying that they're not a good team. Jimmy, best trainer I work with.
Who recently retired as well, Jimmy.
Yep. Adam Booth, another great trainer. But it was just...
Was that more about location of where that was?
Yeah, I mean, it was just, if I wanted to nip here, nip there, like, it was just, everyone was around me still, and it was just one of them. I just wanted to break away from that, because nothing to change if I didn't. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just saying, all right, I'm with Adam Booth, training well, but I'm still, like, people coming to me, like, you know what I mean, mates, I'd pull up, oh, yeah, well, what's going here? Like, then you go, and then just, it's the same circle still. And I thought of Dom very first, and then I just went with Dom. Went my first instinct, and it was the right one. Out the way, Sheffield. Locked away in the house. Dom lives opposite. Nutrition side sorted. That's what I needed. That's basically what I needed. Basically, I moved MTK Marbella to Sheffield. Same sort of setup. Like, everything what I needed was all out there and that, wasn't it? But it's good because you got people you know training with you now. Do you know what I mean? And it's just nice to have a bit of competition, isn't it?
Did you feel like when you was with Jimmy that you couldn't kind of progress to where you wanted to be still with Jimmy, or not?
No, it was just that. Not Jimmy's fault. No, I was just that I fell out of love with it, innit? I just got the sick. You could see that I did by the way I ballooned up, the way I went up in the end. This boxing wasn't there, like it was. And then I was thinking, I need a change. Like I just want to change, just try something new. And I did, but in the end it worked. Like you always got to go with your first instinct, and in the end I went with it.
Because most boxers, they make that change after they've suffered a defeat. But obviously, you being an undefeated fighter, you obviously won the world title with Jimmy.
Yeah.
And you didn't lose a fight under him. So
never know. Jimmy Tibbs is the best trainer what I've ever worked with. Very, very clever. Knows when to rest, knows when to do, knows when not to, knows when to go. Very, very good. Extremely good.
Always felt Jimmy Tibbs was underrated as a trainer as well. I don't think he was given the proper credit.
You say he's underrated though, but he's well respected.
100%.
He's well respected. He's established his spot, and let's face it, like in my opinion. I mean, unless you work with him personally, then you know what he's about. You know how he works, but people. Time goes on, then like people get in this world, the same as anything. Like, let's say you I don't know. Let's just say you lost £1,000 out of your pocket somewhere. You're gutted for a day or so, but time moves on. You forget about it. Do you know what I mean? Like people forget about it, or something happens. Like, not being nasty, but things that what happened. Like, let's just, for an example, like terrorism or so. People forget. In the end, people just forget about it. And it's the same as the boxers as well. Like Ricky, people just forget about it. And some people then forget about what they've actually done. Do you know what I mean? Like Naz and all that. They just look at him now and think, oh yeah, Naz, look how he is. But 10, 12 years ago, they'd have been running to him. And so it's just, time goes on. People just really just put you behind them, don't they? Like they forget about you. Same as me. In 6, 7, 8 years' time, I'll just be forgot about. None of this will never be remembered.
I agree with what you're saying, actually. I think if you're a winning fighter and you're kind of in the peak of everything and you're on the tip of everyone's tongue, everything's fine. But you look at the amount of retired fighters there are out there, that some are lucky enough to be in boxing, others are not.
Yeah, 100%.
So what do they do? Because that's all they know to do, most of them.
Some of them, Coog, won't step foot in the gym because they put a lot into it. When you've reached it, like what people don't understand, and even some young fighters coming up, they won't understand, and please God, all of the British fighters go for it until they really know what they got to do to get there. You don't understand it. I remember fighting in like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 fights, even when I was British champion, and that, thinking, this is easy. But then it goes another level. Then when you start competing, it's not only the level you have to step up, but it's the mental pressure on you then. Everything becomes mentally. You've got to be mentally strong for it, because if you're not, you get some people in there who looks brilliant, but then you get him in for against a world title and he gets beat, they go, oh, as soon as he stepped up, he was no good. But it's not that his boxing wasn't no good, maybe. It's just that you got to know how to go with the other level. Do you know what I mean? You can't just... hope and think, oh, my boxing is going to be good enough. That's a key part and it's a big thing, but also mentally. A lot of every world champion, I tell you that, every one of them, the mental pressure is different than anything else.
You started off your pro career with Frank Warren.
Mm-hmm.
All these years on, you've continued. What are you looking for?
Just what?
Continued your relationship with Frank Warren. I was talking to him about it earlier on, and you've had quite some journey with Frank over the last 9 years or so.
Some people look at Frank and some people slag him off for running down, but the reason being that is because I remember Frank he used to like promote all the big fighters back like years ago. Like I remember watching it every time you see him, and my dad always said, "Oh, like, if you turn pro, I want you to go with him." This was when I was even amateur, like not even going nowhere near the Olympics. So I always knew of him then, and he was in charge of like Naz, all my heroes who I used to look and watch. And I came back from the Olympics. Well, before I went to the Olympics, he wanted to sign me and said, I'll give you money, I'll offer you money now not to go. And I said no, so I went, come back, and just did it. I did a deal with him, but listen, with me, I'm very loyal. Anybody that knows me, I'm very, very, very loyal. Started with him, had it good at first on Sky, then BoxNation when he first started it. And you know, he's from the street, isn't he? He's from the street. That's what I like. He's basically like myself. Like, I had to bring myself up to, not sound like I had a bad life, but when you get to a certain age, you're on your own. And he ain't had no help. He's been on his own, so he knows how to make stuff work. And me and him's had loads of arguments, loads, but it's just arguments. Next day, I'm at football, or a week after at Arsenal. Not bad arguments, but like when it comes to business,
it's a working relationship.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, and but Frank's good. Earned a lot of money with Frank. Probably more with Frank than others. Probably what I would have. He's overpaid some fights. I've undercut some fights. It's just business, isn't it? I'm here today. I'm still here. I've still got a deal with him. So, listen. He's shrewd, very shrewd. The way he goes about his stuff as well. He's very, very shrewd. I think a lot of people look at the limelight, like Eddie Hearn, Sky, good promoter, and you know, they look at the, you know, I'm on Sky and I'm seen. For me, it's not about getting noticed about this, about that. It's just about having the best deal, earning the most you can now when you're at your pinnacle. Well, I wouldn't say the end of the career, but let's say the back end of it. You know, it's about earning the money, innit, as well. So you got to be sensible and clever. But he's like I say, he's a shrewd man to make BoxNation work really on his own. No backing,
which
no
was
help.
not heavily when it first started.
What? Yeah.
It was. I remember.
I was at the first show.
I was at the first show. Appleby Walsh.
I was at the first show.
Yeah, your call.
And then obviously BT Sport's now involved. The biggest platform there is. And also he's got another couple of, well, I was chatting, well, I can't say too much, but I ain't coming, but he's got a couple of big plans. Big plans.
But Bill, when we see fighters kind of chop and change, move promoters, that's kind of the thing that happens. But you've been with Frank since 2008, 9 years. I don't think there's any other current British fighter that has been with their promoter for that spell, if that makes any sense. Am I wrong in saying that?
Listen, one thing in life, you don't forget who's been good to you. Do you know what I mean? You know, he's been he's delivered a lot to me. You know, people were saying about the Golovkin, the Canelo. I see the contracts. He delivered that personally, but obviously they choose other routes. So, you know, my time will come. My time will come. Like, me personally, it's about being them back-to-back big fights. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's no good fighting a lack of over here, and which is, to be honest with you, it was probably a blessing in disguise that I wasn't having a Golovkin or a Canelo there or someone like that, because could have been different. So it's about having them like this level now, back-to-back big fights, like world champion back-to-back, and it will come. This is one of them. This is the start. This is one big one. Don't get much bigger, do it. World champion in his backyard. It's what I'm saying. I don't put myself in easy tasks. Put it that way.
No. You get a lot of stick, don't you? You do. People give you a lot of stick. I'm not even talking about the things you say, because that's just. I
get stick. You get them by haters, but you turn them into lovers. The haters will turn it. Listen, everyone wants to be on the big bandwagon. Tyson Fury was just a big fat chibbo. When he beat Klitschko, he was then like, I wouldn't say, well, he's definitely not what Joshua done, but he certainly done that first. Then people was like building up, then everyone ran into him, and then obviously the best case to look at it is then obviously when he was on his down, he turned into a fat jippo again. So it's you can have your ups and downs. I've got people who like me, people who don't like me, so it don't bother me anyway. If I get stick, I just like rubbing it in the face when I win and whatnot else.
Just carrying on about Tyson, obviously good for Tyson that the UK situation has resolved itself. He's subject to getting his licence back, but free to fight after that, so that's good.
Subject to getting his licence back?
Well, he hasn't. He's currently without a licence, a boxing licence, whether that's the British licence or whatever. He's currently, as of today, without one, so that needs to be sorted out first.
But
that's
KUGAN,
what I said.
Who's not gonna? If British didn't want to do it, Irish would.
No. I'm just saying.
Anybody
currently,
would.
He's got to sort that out first, and then.
I think that in places he was poorly treated. Which should have been addressed.
Do you think the situation went on for far too longer than it should have done?
Well, just to go on all that time and say, all right, now box. Okay, you was banded. So let's just say you were banded now. I mentioned about bankruptcy and all suing and shit and whatnot else, but it's done now, isn't it? It's done, finished, it's over. You can't buy back time. You can just got to move forward, and he's moving forward. He's linked up with Ben, is it? I believe.
Mm.
Yep. Ben. Let's let him in, please, go.
Who is it?
Yep. 1 second. Coogie.
You want to sing the song? We're doing an interview.
Nah, let's have some fun.
Ben?
We're just finishing off, actually.
We're doing, yep. So my opinion is that he wouldn't change it now. It's happened, you know. Well, he can't change it now. I suppose he would change it, but he can't. So it's happened. Put it behind you, move up, and he's linked up with Ben. Good trainer. Well, he's training with Ben, isn't he? Have they announced anything?
He said today in an interview that he's, but he said he's still subject. He could be working possibly with Peter again, But at the moment, he's working with Ben. That's what he said.
Yeah. So it's one of them things, isn't it? I suppose it worked for him. That'll always be in his mind. So yeah. But he's training with Ben at the minute. Ben's a good trainer. So he's in good hands at the minute through learning and dropping a bit of weight in that. So it's whoever he decides to go with in the end, he goes with, isn't it?
Can you see a fight between himself and Joshua coming off next year?
Not next year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Possibly the end of next year. The beginning of 19.
You still believe Tyson beats Joshua?
Look, you never ever know when a man's been out that long when he comes back, but he's got everything there, you know what I mean? He's got speed, he's got everything there, movement, even at the size of him. So, as long as he comes back the same fight, which I believe in my own heart and know personally he will, and he's at his best, because listen, Joshua's a good fighter. You can't take that away from him. Joshua's a very, very good fighter and dangerous. People say about his last fight, he was gonna get knocked out. He was winning every round. He had it under control. I reckon it was a good performance. It was good to get a few rounds in the end. Again, you get Joshua coming off a Klitschko fight and coming there. It's a bit hard, you know, for him. He's only human. He wouldn't have had that same mentality. Not that he lacks training. He seems very professional, but it's still that mindset you need. But I personally think Tyson at his best and Joshua at his best. I'm going to go with Tyson. I think it'd be a point to win because people don't understand how unorthodox he is. I've said it before. He's very talented, but he's got that talent where he doesn't know he's got it because he don't know what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? He's got that grounded in him, that grounded boxing brain, but he's also got a talent where he could hit your move, switch, bang. He does stuff really, and he don't know he's doing it. It's all natural, and that's an hard character to keep up with in the ring. And he also very good at getting in people's minds. He slips in well.
Okay. Billy Joe, have you got anything else you'd like to add? By the time this goes out, your fight will be kind of tomorrow. It'll be going out tomorrow, so it'll
No,
be
well,
tonight.
tune in 2:00 in the morning. HBO, or I mean, America obviously, and here's HBO, but back home, BoxNation, BT Sport, it'll all be kicking off. Thank you all. Tune in and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Billy Joe Saunders. Best of luck tonight.
Good man.